One of the questions they asked while I was in the hospital was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how was the pain? And I said it was 11, which raised an eyebrow.
I'm Barry.
I'm Ansha.
This is the continuing journey of Sailing ABC.
The segment you're about to see is out of sequence for real time with our videos, but we thought it was quite important to put this in now rather than later, because it was quite an important moment. On the 29th of December I had a major health scare, if you like. Woke up that morning and sat down at my laptop here in the saloon and felt a kind of dull ache in one of my back muscles. Over the day the dull ache kind of grew, and it sort of spread to a couple of other muscles, and that evening we got invited over to a friend's boat for dinner. And as I'm sitting there, we had a lovely chat and dinner. As I'm sitting there, the pain then spread around to the front just above my rib cage, where my rib cage starts, or the bottom of my rib cage. It got to the point where the pain was so intense that I was making, noises of pain whenever I breathed. I thought it was a good time to go home and see what lotions and potions Ansha could fish out and apply to the muscles. Literally got my shoes on, got off the boat and onto the pontoon, and just walking from one pontoon to our boat on pontoon B, by the time I got here I was in so much pain. It felt like the muscles were just spasming, and there was a shooting, stabbing pain going through the muscles every time I took a breath, so I couldn't take deep breaths. Anyway, Ansha rubbed a load of potions on and applied a few essential oils. Nothing calmed the situation down at all. Now, as a trained rescue diver, I do know the importance of applying oxygen, because I was at the point where I was breathing so short and shallow that I just wasn't getting enough air into my lungs to circulate oxygen around my system. So after about half an hour, with the pain just getting worse and worse, I decided that we should go to the hospital where I knew I could get oxygen. We got a taxi, and the taxi driver ran three red lights getting me there, because he could hear how painful my situation was. Got into the hospital. They pretty quickly got me into an emergency area bed. They strapped a load of bells and whistles to me, checked my heart, because I was showing symptoms of a heart attack at that point. They also quickly administered morphine via a drip to ease the pain, because they could obviously see that there was great pain going on. I was admitted around about 11 o'clock at night, something like that. The morphine unfortunately didn't really do anything to dull the pain, and this is because of my wine drinking. Apparently the receptors for the morphine and the receptors for alcohol are the same, and if you overdo alcohol then the receptors are dulled down to the stuff. Anyway, so that's something to take note of. And eventually at around about 4 o'clock in the morning, they eventually injected the morphine into my buttock, near to the pain source, and that actually did have a bit of effect on reducing the pain. They did an MRI, had lots of bloods taken. They pretty much did every test under the sun, and eventually at 5 o'clock they just said, well look, you seem to have things under control now, and the pain was dulled by the morphine at that point, and they sent us home. They gave me a load of pills, painkillers and anti-inflammatories. Over the next 7 days the pain in the muscles started to ease, but they also pointed out that they'd found signs of fluid on the lungs, so they suggested that I see an internal medicines doctor and have him check things out as well. Now, moving on to the video footage that we got after the fact. It's the 5th of January, exactly 1 week since the incident and we're in a car today because we are taking ourselves to another hospital, this one in the next town along the coast called Cumluja. I'm going to see two people, possibly three. The first one is a doctor of internal medicine who basically will triage me, and I'm also going to be seeing a cardiologist because the first trip to the hospital, one of the things that was revealed to me was that I actually have an enlarged heart, which is possibly due to my sleep apnea. So we're going to get everything checked out today. I'm driving, so the pain isn't debilitating at the moment, but it is still definitely there 1 week after the fact. And you know, you just can't take chances with your health, so we're going to the hospital. We've just been greeted by Dr. Ali, and he's just setting up our meeting with the internal medicine doctor, and we'll take it from there. There might be a bit of an issue with our insurance because originally our first year's insurance was with Allianz, and they specify that, you know, within the first 12 months of taking out the policy, there are certain things that the policy doesn't cover. Because that policy with Allianz finished and our agent changed us over to what's called Elite Insurance Company, they're now saying, well, this is a brand new insurance policy, and so certain things may or may not be covered, but we'll figure that all out at the end. So just something to consider when you're looking at insurance when you become a Turkish temporary resident. Well, I'm now sitting in Ali's office. I've had an EKG, I've had a couple of blood pressure tests, I've also had an ultrasound of the heart, and the cardiologist says nothing seems amiss. They are recommending that I wear a blood pressure monitor for 24 hours so they can see how things are going up and down throughout the day and night. And they're also recommending that we do a stress test for my heart and breathing capacity. So that'll be some sort of exercise on a bike, I would reckon, while hooked up to machines that go beep. So far, nothing seems amiss. The pain in the side seems to be, or they assume it to be, just muscular. So nothing solid to go, there's the problem, this is how we're going to fix it. So we'll see how we go. Actually, Ali has agreed to give us a tour around the hospital, and he said that we can film, so why not?
He's a lovely guy.
He's a great bloke, yeah. It's now 2 weeks after the health scare, and everything checked out at the hospital. So I had multiple blood pressure tests, heart stress test, EKG, an ultrasound of the heart. The cardiologist was quite happy that everything was perfectly normal. One of the questions they asked while I was in the hospital was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how was the pain? And I said it was 11, which raised an eyebrow. Now, 2 weeks later, the pain is still there, and it's about a 3, maybe a 2. It sort of like comes and goes. It's possible, I mean, we've been thinking about this long and hard, it's possible that it is an RSI issue with me being at the computer too much all day, every day, and just, you know, keeping my hand on the mouse and doing that sort of stuff. So that's a possibility. The insurance company didn't pay anything towards the hospital costs. They made the claim that, you know, this is a brand new policy, this is your first year on this policy with us, and so therefore you're not covered. So we paid cash for everything, and the price of everything that was happening at the private hospital in Cumluja is on the screen right now. So all in all, big thanks to everyone at the hospital who prodded and poked me, and a big thank you to Ali, the foreign persons liaison officer, who basically chaperoned us around the hospital and made sure that we got the attention we needed. So thanks very much, guys and girls. This is Ali. He's been our guide, translator and assistant, and he's basically batting for our team.
Hocam gelsenize. This is our gynecology doctor. I will introduce you. This one of our most successful doctors. This hospital has 20 units, including gynecology and cardiology, internal medicine, neurology, and also psychiatry, also dietitian.
Do you have an intensive care unit here?
Of course.
Yes, it is.
Neonatal intensive care
Okay.
unit, and the neonatal intensive care unit have eight
Beds.
We have 4 surgery room.
4 operating
Four
theatres.
operating room. For the gynecologic surgery, laparoscopic surgery, we can make all them. Have neonatal intensive care unit, radiology units, the
MRI.
magnetic resonance, tomography,
Wow.
ultrasonography, Doppler ultrasonography, all the we have well done equipment.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that information. Thank you.
Görüşürüz.
We're now on the 5th floor of the hospital, and this floor is dedicated to the VIP rooms, if you like, and quite akin to a hotel room, really.
Yeah.
Come and take a
It
look.
looks lovely.
Plenty of seating for family visiting. State-of-the-art bed.
Yeah.
All the hookups you need for administering oxygen and stuff like that. And if you're not bedridden, a great view. A little mini fridge for keeping cold drinks or even medicines. Big screen TV. An ensuite bathroom with a shower, toilet and wash basin. And also, as you'll notice, next to the toilet there's a little red cord that could be pulled to call the nurse if needed. And this is the air conditioning control panel. The hospital is absolutely amazing.
Also on the 6th floor is the restaurant area. So the food here apparently is fantastic, and we're going to get to sample some of it today. Here's what's on the menu for lunch today. Looks like chicken kebab skewers. And Anja's gone for the salad as well.
This looks great.
Yeah. Well, let's dig in.
In Turkey, like most other countries, there are 2 types of hospitals. There are the government-run hospitals and the privately run hospitals. We experienced both of them. The government hospital in Finike was equally as good as the private hospital in Kumluca. The staff very attentive, really know their jobs and just get right into action sorting things out. Excellent English spoken throughout both hospitals, and most importantly of all, a very caring attitude. Just, really want to get the patient as comfortable as possible as soon as possible. Not a lot of people know this, but Turkey is high up on the list of countries to visit for medical tourism. And one of the reasons for this is the costs here are minuscule in comparison to other Western countries. So if you're thinking of any medical tourism, put Turkey on your list, check it out. I think you'll find it'll be a great option. So anyway, thanks to everyone who's looked after me and helped me out. I really appreciate everything. And hopefully this final little bit of muscle stress that's left should fade over time. Thanks very much.